Let's talk about scaffolding painting techniques and teaching color theory and color mixing in elementary art. With kindergarten, start with the basics. Use yellow and red to create orange and create a beautiful sunset city sky. This is wet on wet watercolor using broad strokes and big brushes to create these backgrounds. Building off that, we move to pointillism trees where we are mixing blue and yellow to create green treetops. Students don't even touch paintbrushes for this project. They're using Q-tips to create little dots for the tops of their trees and the shadow underneath, and to mix the blue and yellow to create green and use the yellow as highlights and the blue as shadows. Moving into first grade, we are suddenly looking at all three primary colors. They've had experience with different combinations of them, and now they get a chance to mix them all together. They're mixing yellow, red, and blue to create different colors for heirloom pumpkins. We aren't talking about bright orange jack-o'-lanterns. We're talking about yellow orange, red orange, green pumpkins, yellow green pumpkins. They're having fun with color. In second grade, we start talking more about warm and cool colors. Students trace around leaves to get a collaged leaf drawing in the background, and they fill the leaves using wet on wet watercolor, blending together warm colors, cool colors. We're also talking a little bit about analogous colors. Students add a darker color in the background to make the background recessed. In third grade, we are building even more color. We've talked about primary colors, secondary colors. We've been dabbling in analogous colors, and now we're looking at intermediate and tertiary colors. They are mixing their secondaries and primaries together to create these really beautiful new colors. They're adding textures by coloring into the wet paint and create a beautiful impressionist garden. In fourth grade, we are playing with watercolor more in depth. They dabbled with it in second grade in their leaf paintings, and now they're creating an abstract watercolor design, and they're using so many techniques in each section of their abstract design. We're using salt, wet on wet, we're pressing into the paper, into the paint. They really get to let loose and experiment. And finally, in fifth grade, we start introducing value. Students paint a traditional still life, and then at the end, they add charcoal on top to add value to their colors. This is a great way to simplify this process at this age and create these shadows and highlights without having to mix a bunch of colors together. Bring painting into your classes. Make sure techniques build on top of each other so students are ready for the technique that's coming next. Have fun getting messy and painting with your students, and as always, happy art making.